hotline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. News anytime at WOAI.com. Presented by Primo Plumbing.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. How long have you had sharp pain in your heel or that burning sensation on the bottom of your feet? Do you want to lose weight and exercise, but cannot because of foot, ankle, knee, or low back pain? The Good Feet store has helped thousands of customers.
The pain in my foot was so bad I could not walk around for any length of time. I walked in the Good Feet store in pain, and I walked out pain-free.
Come to the Good Feet store and become pain-free today.
Call 210-598-8859 or visit one of our 2 locations across the freeway from the North Star Mall between Men's Warehouse and Freebirds, or our new location, the entrance to the Alamo Ranch Shopping Center next to AT&T. Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Go to our website, goodfeetsanantonio.com. We are open and we're following CDC guidelines inside the stores. Don't forget, Good Feet has opened a second location at Alamo Ranch at the entrance to the Alamo Ranch Shopping Center next to AT&T. What is freedom? That's a tough one to answer in just 60 seconds. Because freedom means different things to different people. For starters, freedom requires sacrifice. We don't want to ever forget the blood that has been shed for our freedom in America. Freedom means you can learn what you want, where you want, and when you want. Freedom means you have the right to raise your children in the way you want them to be brought up. Freedom means I can come on this radio station and share who we are and what we believe. Freedom is being able to vote for the leaders who share our values. And freedom is the right to choose what you believe, where you worship, and who you do business with. Hi, this is Scott Barr. I thank you for choosing Southwest Exteriors. I thank everyone who has served or is serving in our military for their service. And I thank God for our freedom. Stay cool, be safe, be kind to others. Happy 4th of July from all of us at Southwest Exteriors.
Thank you, Mr. T. We all know that buttons make our lives easier, but if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, did you know there's a button that can help you go from this to this? It's called Inspire. It's a small device that works inside your body with just a click of a remote. That's right, a button. If you struggle with CPAP, Great Sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation, no mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Domino's is making mealtime decisions easy. Whether you're feeding your family, office, or sports party, Domino's has a deal for you. Stop by participating Domino's for their limited time $6.99 carry-out deal. That's right, $6.99 gets you 1 large, 1-topping pizza, 1 large pepperoni thin crust pizza, $6.99. How about 1 large pineapple hand-tossed pizza? Again, $6.99. At $6.99 for a large 1-topping pizza, everyone wins. $6.99 large 1-topping hand-tossed or thin crust pizzas at Domino's. Carry-out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
The iHeartRadio app now has over 300,000 of the best podcasts from around the globe, making us #1 for podcasts. But making it super easy for you to find what you're looking for.
All my favorite stations, all my podcasts, all my playlists, they're all right there.
iHeart has made it simple.
My stuff.
All the things I want in one place. I love it.
Exactly right.
In my pocket wherever I go. If you're not one of the tens of millions who have the app, download iHeartRadio for free today and start listening.
iHeartRadio.
News anytime at WOAI.com. Delivered by First Water Credit Union, making a good life better. Jesus Radio, 1200 WOAI.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. WOAI, an iHeartRadio station.
Radio stations across the land, JoePags.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email. It's all right there, plus the live video feed. It's the Joe Pags Show. Glad to have you here. Really glad to have you along for the ride. Lots going on, lots to get to. So I mentioned the outrage over Hamilton, which is kind of stupid because, again, the left loved Hamilton when they went after soon-to-be Vice President Mike Pence. That was great. That was great. But now that it's offered up by Disney Plus, Disney somehow needs to comply and not just accept Hamilton because he was a no good, this, that, and the other. Well, I think I have my mic down low. You might want to check the level of text, turn it back up where it should be. At the end of the day, you've got just something that's musical. It's historically accurate. It is, of course, very condensed. It's 245 years and 2.5 hours. And they're all singing great, dancing great. I mean, it's an enjoyable moment. But here's the headline for the Blaze. Wave of criticism smashes Lin-Manuel Miranda as leftists declare Hamilton to be problematic. Leftists trying to cancel Hamilton. In 2020, Paul Stecca wrote this. The circular firing squad of progressivism has taken aim at one of its former darlings. Leftists loved the musical Hamilton when it hit Broadway in January 2015. Democratic leaders, including Bill and Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, the Obama family, flocked to see Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical over the years. The musical is based on founding father Alexander Hamilton, but with a modern twist and heavy influence of hip-hop. Flash forward to 2020, and now the progressives say the founding fathers should solely be remembered for being slave owners, and all their achievements have been nullified by many leftists. Some progressives not only declare that the founding fathers should no longer be admired, but they call for their statues to be ripped down. Now there are people who want to cancel the Hamilton musical because it is based on the founding fathers. Many of the harsh critics are the same people who made the musical a cultural leviathan. I think it's Leviathan. I don't ever use that word. Either way, so Paul's smarter than I. Hamilton was trending on social media this weekend as the film version made its debut on Disney+. There was also an undercurrent of leftists saying that Hamilton is problematic. Quote, aren't you all ready to talk about how problematic Hamilton is? Lin-Manuel Miranda created a piece of work that used hip-hop, a genre created by black people, to tell the story of colonizers and slave owners, end quote, one Twitter user wrote. Let me comment on that. Hip-hop is a celebrated genre in this day and age in this country. It's been celebrated since I can remember the Sugar Hill Gang and Rapper's Delight. It's called Rapper's Delight? Yeah, right. Hip-hop, everybody knew that song. Everybody knew it. And it was the way that hip-hop maybe came from some neighborhoods into the mainstream. Hip-hop artists like Jay-Z are worth like $1 billion. Not $1 million, $1 billion, 1,000 million. And I'm okay with that. He achieved it. He succeeded. He got it. He works for it. But are you under the impression he only got that $1 billion from selling hip-hop or performing hip-hop in front of black audiences? No. White people buy a lot of hip-hop. They enjoy hip-hop. They enjoy R&B. And they are certainly a huge part, with 60+% of the population, of why so many hip-hop artists are doing so well. And it's good. It's a good thing that all people can enjoy the genre. The Twitter person seems to be saying, because it's a genre created by black people, that they shouldn't be using hip-hop in modern Broadway or modern stage plays or musical shows. The next one is, quote, as much as I love the show and it and its writers are deeply problematic, another wrote. I've intentionally or unintentionally ignored these things for years, but I'm trying to fix this now so I can fully contextualize and understand Hamilton and its effect as a whole, end quote. Quote, Hamilton is deeply problematic in concept, and so is Lin-Manuel Miranda to some degree. Another person tweeted that. Quote, I think the fact that a musical like Hamilton, which is deeply problematic and nationalist, has to exist in order for non-white actors to have a space on Broadway is just very indicative of how non-white stories will never be able to thrive on this elitist medium. Another person added. But reminder for all y'all Hamilton watching mofos. Not sure what mofo. Sam, do we know what mofo refers to?
Yes.
Oh, well, tell me later. Hamilton was a racist slave owner, and casting POC as white bigots isn't the reclamation you think it is. Read a tweet that had nearly 60,000 likes. Quote, it's a romanticized telling of a white man's plight, so none of y'all better be standing the founding fathers again. What? First of all, he wasn't a slave owner, he wasn't a racist. But way to go. Ajamu Baraka, a self-described international human rights activist, blasted Miranda. Quote, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a Puerto Rican Uncle Tom who, instead of fighting for independence, makes feel-good revisionism for white liberals. He is pathetic, Baraka said. In May, Miranda and Hamilton creator Jeffrey Seller were forced to apologize because people criticized them for not supporting Black Lives Matter sufficiently and not speaking enough about police brutality and the George Floyd protests. Quote, we spoke out on the day of the Pulse shooting. We spoke out when Vice President Mike Pence came to our show 10 days after the election that we have not yet firmly spoken the inarguable truth that Black Lives Matter and denounce systemic racism, as she says systematic, which is now saying systemic. Racism and white supremacy from our official Hamilton channels is a moral failure on our part, Miranda said in a video. As the writer of the show, I take responsibility to apologize for my part in this moral failure. Hamilton doesn't exist without the black and brown artists who created and revolutionized and changed the world through the culture, music, and language of hip-hop, he added. Literally, the idea of the show doesn't exist without the brilliant black and brown artists in our cast, crew, and production team who breathe life into the story every time it's performed. It's up to us in words and deeds to stand up for our fellow citizens, he said. It's up to us to do the work, to be better allies, and have each other's backs. So in other words, he was attacked and he gave in. He gave in. Because you must do what the mob says do, and if you don't, you're out. Stiller apologized by saying, I'm not a politician, I'm not an activist, I'm not an expert, I'm a theater producer, but what I realized today is most importantly, I'm an American citizen, and silence equals complicity, and I apologize for my silence thus far. Oh yes, the cancel culture will come for everybody. For those that don't know, if you've seen the movie or the stage play, the guy who plays Hamilton is the writer, Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he's very good at it. I think he's a better rapper than he is a singer, just between us. But he's very good at it. He played the role well. It wasn't enough that he cast all people of all colors. That's not enough. It wasn't enough that he's telling the story, and in the story, takes a jab at those who don't like immigrants. He takes a jab at Jefferson for owning slaves. That's not enough. So what is enough? He has to give his profits away. What? He has to shut down production, or Disney needs to not run the movie? What is enough? What does he have to do? And listen, he and I clearly are not politically aligned. I will not kiss the ass or the ring of a radical group calling itself Black Lives Matter. It's a Marxist group that doesn't like the Western nuclear family. It is not about fixing a problem. It's about causing bigger problems. So I won't kowtow like he did. He and I would not get along politically, but I support his right to produce this musical, which was very good, and my family enjoyed it. But it's like the old saying goes, they came for these people, and I didn't say anything because it wasn't me. They came for these next people, I said nothing because it wasn't me. Then they came for my neighbor, I didn't say a word, it wasn't me. Then they came for me, and I had nobody to turn to. So, by the way, you can't claim that I'm complicit because I haven't kept my mouth shut. I haven't been silent. I've been loud. My problem is, or the problem of the left when he hears somebody like me, is I'm loud and I'm right. And I don't mean politically right, I'm correct in what I'm saying. But to attack the concept of the founding of a country that allows you the ability to use your First Amendment to the extent these idiots on Twitter and elsewhere are using it is so completely hypocritical, it makes me face her. And again, I'll ask it again. If this country is so horrible, that every founding father was a slave owner and liked the slave trade and wanted slaves, and slave, why exactly did we fight a war to end it? Why exactly did we amend our Constitution with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments? I don't know what they say, go read them. Why exactly did we do the Civil Rights Act? We tried to do it in the 1800s. Democrats said no. Finally got it done in the 1900s. Why do we keep on progressing as a nation if we're so horribly racist? And maybe the best question of all is why do so many people want to come here and be part of this if we're so horrendous? As I mentioned last week, Brazil got rid of slavery in 1888. Nobody's out here hating on Brazil. Slavery exists today in Africa. Nobody, none of these voices are over in Africa trying to stop slavery that's happening today. Nobody, none of these voices talking about slavery all these years later is talking about the sex slave trade. Nobody's talking about stopping it. Nobody. And by the way, let me say something that might make you mad, might make you think. The plight of black people in America today is not an offshoot or a result of slavery. It's an offshoot and a result of democratic policies that have treated them like lesser than for all of history. Because after slavery, you had black representatives in Congress. Many of them, they were all Republicans. The first female to be a millionaire in this country was a black woman. The Western nuclear family was succeeding in black households. Why then today is it failing? There wasn't slavery between then and now. There wasn't slavery between the end of slavery and where we are today. The reason has nothing to do with some alleged systemic racism. It has to do with the systemic racism of the Democrat Party, the Democrat establishment. Because when you look at Atlanta and Detroit and Minneapolis, when you look at California as a whole now, and Los Angeles directly, when you look at San Antonio and Dallas and Houston, what you'll note is they're all cities run by Democrats, cities run by separatists that continue to treat black people like crap. It's convenient to say it's because of slavery. It's convenient to say it's because of Mount Rushmore. It's convenient to say it's about Hamilton. When the reality is it's about much more modern times and treating black and brown people like garbage. I, in my lily white, beautifully olive skin, am sick of it. But if you happen to be black or brown, so defined as black or brown by the left, you should be beside yourself over how you're being treated by these communities. Understanding again has nothing to do with slavery. Nothing. Nothing to do with the founding fathers. It has to do with the majority you're sitting today. And it has to do with, and Jay hit on this, the extreme racism and separatism brought to the White House by Barack Obama. He's the father of this modern day conflict that we're facing. The cancel culture, he's the father of it, and he's loving every minute of it, and it is $8 million mansion. Editing 941-PAX, editing 941-7247, JoePax.com. Stay right here. From the WOAI Traffic Center.
Afternoon, watch out for a stalled vehicle blocking the right shoulder. 410 northbound at Ingram Road also has a crash at the intersection of FM 78 and Rittiman Road. Two brakes have passing through this area. Taking a look on the north of 1604, traffic heavy in both directions between Northwest Military Highway and I-10, up to a 10-minute delay. I'm Shana Sampson, News Radio 1200, WOAI. This report is sponsored by Churches.
Like the land. Flavoring. Sweet Church's new $5 campfire smokehouse chicken. Crackling campfire flavor that bowls to the bone. Plus mashed potato movie. Church's bringing it down home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
As we talk about all the time, it's hard to figure out what's fake news and what's real news. In fact, the big media says President Trump is behind in the polls. Well, now famed author David Horowitz says don't believe them. David's new book, Blitz, Trump will smash the left and win, predicts a Trump landslide. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. says you must read Blitz. All this week, David Horowitz is on Newsmax TV talking about Antifa and Black Lives Matter. David says in Blitz that race would be a big issue, and he warns of more protests this summer. So tune into Newsmax TV to get the truth about Trump from David Horowitz. Newsmax TV is now the fastest growing cable news channel in America. I watch it all the time. You should too. Find it on DirecTV, Xfinity, Dish, Spectrum, Cox, Optimum, Fios, First, Suddenlink, Mediacom, Armstrong, WOW, and many more. Just check your cable guide. To get Blitz right now, already a #1 Amazon bestseller. You can get it at bookstores or check out the free offer from Newsmax and save $20. Call 800-NEWSMAX, 800-NEWSMAX, or go to blitz411.com.
The first CBD dispensary and vape shop in San Antonio. Mary Jane's CBD dispensary and vape shop. Don't possess its CBD and scratch from We sell the best priced CBD creams and CBD oils in town. Our Magic CBD cream starts at $25 and Full Spectrum CBD oil starts at $20. We sell the best CBD hemp strains in town. Sour Space Candy at 15% CBD. World Hemp Haze at 22% CBD. And Paradise OG at 24% CBD. Mary Jane's is not just for CBD, but carries the best quality vaporizers and smoke shop accessories. Visit Mary Jane's and find out what CBD products can give you the relief you've been seeking. Mention this ad and get 10% off your first order. Visit one of Mary Jane's 4 convenient locations at 7115 Blanco Road by North Star Mall, 11440 Petrenko Road by 1604 and Petrenko Crossroads, 11836 Bandera Road in Helotes by 1604 Bandera Crossroad, and 2770 North Highway 281 across from Evans Road. Search the nearest location by typing Mary Jane's CBD dispensary on your phone.
If among your water concerns are that it tastes bad, it's hard on your fixtures and appliances, take control of your home's water. Schedule your free Pelican water test today. They don't need to come in your home to test your water with their zero contact option. And for city or well water, you're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet. And Pelican has both the industry-leading salt-free smart combo, which is in my home, so that means no lugging in bags of salt. They have the advantage salt system as well, both salt and salt-free systems. This month, save 15% on the Pelican salt-free smart combo with the UV protection. And UV protection, of course, helps reduce harmful bacteria. Even works in a boiled water alert. Pelican Water Specialists are standing by now at 855-571-7727. You can also schedule online at PelicanSanAntonio.com. Pelican, Proud to be part of Pentair Water Solutions.
Like it or not, we've all been home a lot more lately. If you've seen that your surroundings could use professional help, but can't have anyone in your home, KM Builders is now offering a virtual video consultation. It's called KM On Demand. You can get expert design and remodeling advice right from your phone or tablet. We'll show you how. And for the first time in our history, get half off of your design. Take advantage of the opportunity to take your remodeling to the next step now at KMBuilders.com or call 680-KM-CODE.
People's Radio 1200 WOAI.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now number one for podcasting. WOAI, an iHeartRadio
Hi, great to have you, the Joe Pags Show. 888-941-PAGS, 888-941-7247. JoePags.com. Glad to have you along for the ride. Bernard Carrick and former Sheriff David Clark will be in the program today. Going to talk about policing in America, what's happening in these large cities, the death and mayhem that we're seeing befalls in these cities. And at the end of the day, what we have is cities that are all run by Democrats that are being ruined by criminals now. Because the Democrats want to give in to the criminals instead of actually going out and making the place safe for the residents. My biggest question is, why do they keep voting for Democrats? Stop. It's time to look, when the president ran, he said, what do you have to lose? You keep on voting for you and voting for and having these horrible neighborhoods and all this crime and mayhem, or maybe give it a shot. What do you have to lose to go Republican this time? 888-941-PAGS, JoePags.com. As I've been reminding you, it's the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. As a bit of a history guy, you know, I just talked to you about history. I love doing history. I thought I knew all about the big wars, the big battles, the famous names. I was digging around recently at Ancestry, got a whole new perspective. Ancestry